Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by Quip. If you go to getquip.com/inside, you can get your first refill pack for free. Hey everyone, and welcome to Inside Gaming for Tuesday. Are you the kind of person that orders a burger without pickles? Just eats it anyway when it comes stacked with them, or do you whip that phone out and immediately drop a 1 star on that goddamn Jack in the Box?
From the heart of Yelp, I stab thee.
Odds are the George back there in the kitchen won't see your blistering 1-star invective, but it does make you feel better, doesn't it?
Well, a lot of Borderlands 3 fans are pissed off about their pickles because Borderlands 1 and 2 are currently getting review bombed to hell and back on Steam.
Why is that? Because people are mad these days about the Epic Games Store.
It's gotten so bad that Valve has stepped in to remove negative reviews, striking thousands of reviews for games in the franchise.
Yeah, this is kind of weird for Valve, right, Brian?
Yeah, this is the first implementation of their new policy against review bombs. It's kind of odd for Valve. They tried to be as hands-off with the Steam ecosystem as possible, as the never-ending parade of shitty ports and hentai games can attest.
Well, as long as they're not shitty hentai games.
Impossible.
No, they're all good. While Borderlands 3 releases on September 13th, its PC version will be exclusive to the Epic Games Store.
We've been seeing a lot of these big deals lately as big name releases like The Division 2 and Metro Exodus released exclusively on Epic so that their developers get to see a bigger revenue cut.
It's just greed. What happened to the game?
Or is Steam greedy because they take so much money?
But I like Steam. So that is obviously known to a lot of people that don't want to wait 6 months to play Borderlands 3 on Steam, where their friends list are, and their browser overlays and what have you, once that exclusivity deal expires. Hence the review bombs. They happen. It's just how people choose to express themselves these days.
And most gaming companies ignore them and wait for things to blow over, but not Gearbox.
Yeah, what's old Randy up to?
Is mad that you complained about the pickles. He has gone head-to-head with fans on Twitter. He's been blocking people. He's been firing back. He's even said that all the review bombs have made him more likely to do similar exclusive deals in the future when it comes to Gearbox's own publishing arm.
So basically, George in the back of the Jack in the Box just vaulted over the counter and shouted, "Who the fuck talked shit about my burgers?" Time for a rumble in the box. I've been thinking about that movie a lot lately.
Why? Pitchford has gotten a lot less diplomatic over the last week or so, and I agree it's kind of exciting.
I know, I actually like it. So initially Borderlands 3 was revealed, and a lot of people got mad about the exclusivity deal. Pitchford responded by saying that it was the publisher's call, 2K's, to put it on the Epic Games Store.
Gearbox, he said, was just the talent, which is a pretty diplomatic way to pass the buck. And if he left it there, this whole firestorm would have passed just right by him.
Yeah, but it didn't happen that way, did it, Brian?
No, as the days have gone by, Pitchford got saltier and saltier and more vocally defensive about 2K's decision to put the PC version on Epic. Late last week, he responded to review bombs and he accused Steam of having, quote, no interest in correcting this misuse.
He added that it, quote, makes me kind of happy about 2K's decision and makes me want to reconsider Gearbox Publishing's current posture on the platform. He is taking his ball and going home.
I mean, he's probably getting a lot of people who are being very unnecessarily aggressive at him. I've seen people call Epic Game Store exclusivity terrorism. So that made fans livid, one of whom responded, "This would not have happened if there wasn't an exclusivity deal. You, 2K, or whoever else is responsible brought it upon themselves, and it is their fault for everyone being pissed off."
Which Pitchford replied, calling them a troll and telling him to f*** off. Others in this industry jumped to his defense, but also complained about review bombing, so there's not really an easy solution here.
Another game dev, Rami Ismail, said that it was ridiculous to bomb older Borderlands games, tweeting, "User reviews are slowly becoming less and less defensible as a measure of games quality, and platforms without them are a safer bet for launch."
The other see bad reviews is one of the few avenues that fans have left to communicate their grievances, which is kind of a problem. Developer Chet Falzak argued that, quote, review bombing is making it clearer and clearer that players have no effective means of communication with developers where they feel their voices will be heard, so they use the one avenue available to them.
I don't understand that, and he said the solution is to either throw out review bombs like Steam is doing, or fix communication.
Randy's not done yet, is he, Brian? What's he up to?
No, he was not just mad at review bombs. Earlier today, he slammed Steam for its curation policies, or the lack thereof, allowing too many hentai games on there. Pitchford said it allows, quote, nearly any garbage software onto their store.
I mean, they do.
He said he preferred a curated store. That is a pretty clear reference to Epic, whose CEO has said they curate all of their store offerings and won't allow, quote, porn games or bloatware or asset flips.
By contrast, Pitchford said that, quote, user review-driven stores like Steam, quote, shift responsibility and in the process create mechanisms that can be gamed and abused. Gamers gaming a system? No.
Well, devs also game that system too.
Of course, yeah, it's
easy
designed that way.
He even compared it to going to the grocery store and having to rely upon user reviews to decide whether the milk sucks.
You described Yelp. Hey, it's back here.
He did, and to add insult to injury, Pitchford even retweeted a Half-Life 3 dig.
Oh, that's when you know the salt is real. It's kind of going under the belt. He's got a point. Steam is familiar, but it's not without its problems. I'm just happy there's competition because the thing won't launch.
Steam is going to get better because Epic Game Store exists, but I also understand why gamers are annoyed that the platform they've used for a very long time is being fractured.
Yeah, but Valve has gotten so complacent.
Yeah,
Holy
they need a challenge.
Wake those assholes up. Anyway, it's been years since Valve made a decent game, so why are people defending their honor so viciously? Portal 2 was so good, though.
Good game. At any rate, it's clear there are still a lot of hard feelings about 2K's decision to make Borderlands 3 exclusive to Epic.
Yeah, and while Epic is definitely playing hardball when it comes to rolling out its new store, some people are giving it credit for breaking up what they see as a monopoly by Steam in the PC gaming space.
I pretty much feel that way. Like, specifically, it's about that 30% revenue cut they've been taking, which is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money for a digital distribution. There are people that used to be at Valve weighing in on this, right, Brian?
Yeah, the former Valve developer Richard Geldright said that Steam was, quote, killing PC gaming, and he also said it was a 30% tax on an entire industry. It was unsustainable. You have no idea how profitable Steam was for Valve. I'm gonna guess pretty profitable.
He called Steam a, quote, virtual printing press, which it absolutely is for Valve, that, quote, distorted the entire company. Epic, he said, quote, is fixing this for all gamers, so look at that! You should be thanking the Epic Game Store.
That's how I kind of see it, but I understand a lot of the community doesn't feel the same way.
Yeah.
Whether or not Epic is saving PC gaming, it's clear that their entry into selling games has caused a lot of bruised egos.
And while a lot of people didn't like Steam at first either, Epic is the new kid on the block, so it's gonna take a lot of flack. It's also just functionally inferior.
This whole mess also demonstrates how few avenues fans have for communicating with developers.
What's the scene like right now, Brian?
You have indie devs, they might be in a lot closer contact with their fans, especially when they're starting out trying to build a community. But when it comes to a bigger developer like Gearbox, fans are pretty limited. You got review scores, you got social media, you have YouTube comments, you have death threats, you know, just sort of the standard stuff. That's pretty much what you got to express your displeasure, whether it's fair or not.
Some of this boils down to community management and paying attention to your fans. In Gearbox's case, they probably knew this exclusivity deal would piss some people off, especially those who are longtime Borderlands fans and want to play it in the way they want. But like Pitchford said previously, Gearbox didn't have much say in it. As far as their publisher 2K is concerned, they get to just make the money decisions and stay out of the spotlight.
I mean, we've been in that position more than once, and it sucks. People that don't face the consequences of the money decisions get to hide from the audience it directly impacts. So, Randy, we feel you there.
Gearbox is one of the few privately held developers that still puts out AAA games. That's why Pitchford is a lot looser, to put it mildly, on social media than the CEOs of publicly traded companies.
Yeah, he doesn't have to answer to many people, so if he wants to do a 20-minute magic show in the middle of a big stage presentation, he's gonna do it.
Hey, he warned her that 47 was way too high of a number, all right? He warned her! How do we summarize this, Brian? Is there a winning proposition for anyone in this?
When it comes to Borderlands, if you want to play a new Borderlands game, you got to put up with its quirky CEO who's going to try to guess which card you're holding.
He's always right.
He can do it, so he's going to do it. Or he might just cuss you out on Twitter, and there aren't any stockholders to go, maybe that's not such a great idea, Randy.
So whether you agree with him or not, and a lot of gamers don't right now, to be frank, it is a little refreshing to see CEO be completely unfiltered like this.
Especially in the games industry,
Yeah,
where they're also
for sure.
proper and they lie all the time.
Yeah.
That may be a contributing factor here. The gaming audience is used to silent developers that have to rely on carefully worded community statements to do all the talking for them.
After years of that, we start to think they're all just soft boy automatons that do whatever we want, and if they start misbehaving, then we smack them with the newspaper, hit them with a spray bottle, and say, no!
It's good to remember that there are human beings on the other side of the equation too. Pitchford's out there doing overly long card tricks and making the games people want to play.
Being upset about the context of that game's release is understandable, but at least cut the guy and Gearbox in general a little slack for putting in the hours to make the thing we want in the first place.
But also, dude, maybe lay off Twitter for the next few months and make sure Borderlands 3 is awesome. That would be the best revenge.
Yeah, make it so good that they have to come to Epic Game Store or pirate it, but we won't talk about that.
Wow, Lawrence. Where can I review bomb Lawrence Sontag?
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by Quip. This is a new kind of electronic toothbrush that has a service that will deliver new brush heads to you on a dentist-recommended 3-month schedule. That means you don't have to worry about it anymore. Time starts slipping by, and before you know it, you're just cramming a bristleless toothbrush head inside your mouth and scraping all around. No more. Let Quip take that away from you. It also has sonic vibrations. It's got a little rumble motor in there to help clean your teeth. And here's the cool thing. The rumble motor pauses every 30 seconds to tell you when to switch quadrants in your mouth. That way you don't have to think anymore, man. This world's got too much pressure in it. Am I brushing my teeth enough? It's something you're worrying about all day, every day. Where do I buy Borderlands 3? Am I brushing my teeth enough? Let Quip remove that worry from your mind. And like I said, it'll deliver new brush heads to you and even a new battery to make sure you got the powerful vibrations and a brush head that is appropriately resistive to scrape all that gunk out of your mouth. We have a special offer for you guys. If you go to getquip.com/inside, you can get your first refill pack for free with the toothbrush starting at $25. That's at getquip.com/inside. for your first refill pack for free. Live without worry with Quip electronic toothbrush today.
You have some truth. Does it mean that a Chinese company with a minority stake in Epic Games can therefore insert spyware into its products? Lawrence, what does Tim Sweeney have to say about it?
We got to throw it to long-timer Tim Sweeney here. He just says, no, just trying to sell you games. Nothing fishy going on here. Of course, he would say that, though. He owns the company, but there's more to it. We've seen these kinds of spyware allegations in the past with other stores like Origin, but Epic's connections to a